There's a puppy dog. Her vagina smells like fish. Yuck. Scott! Contest response. I've got the Mickey Mantle up. I'm gonna maybe sell that for a GoFundMe for some people that are struggling right now with their jobs due to the coronavirus, COVID-19. Maybe do that because I'm a good guy. Got this stuff and these delicious treats. Not that delicious treat. Go away, Chinese people. Cards are in there for another video. But for the contest, this is a book from 1988 in Ely. I wouldn't say it. I guess it's more of a personal history type thing of the town. Where you have all these delightful tales and wonderful restaurant type advertisements. Pictures to the past, as it were. These cool photos of youth at that time, the 88 ladies. Miss Ely Centennial. I can't read because I'm an idiot. Go away, stinky fish vagina. We used to have some ski jumps here. And they took them to Nepal by bus. But family history. That's what you want to know. Which I like. I like these contests. I don't need to see somebody's top 10. I don't give a shit. If you've watched most of their videos, you basically know what they have. If you've been on a collection quest, per se, show that after the quest is done or near completion. I don't need to see a top 10 every 2 weeks. If I want to see a top 10, I want to see a top 10 crash. Kaboom! Or a top 10 list of songs that are currently out. That's the top 10 list I want to see. Yeah. I don't do my... watching these delightful videos and just getting pissed off because people frantically looking for toilet paper. Probably the same dipshits that are running into the back of people because they're on their fucking cell phones. Idiots. Anyhow, before I get on a rant, that would be the first time in 10 minutes. And go through my immediate family history. Dad was born in Ottumwa, Iowa. That's the same spot I'm fairly certain Michael Phillips, this film not yet rated, is from. So that's why, again, we got a close connection. I got to get down there. It's going to go next month. The way through St. Louis for the card show. Now everything is canceled for the rest of the decade. So, because I haven't seen a lot of the family many years since his funeral in '94. Even though they all said, "Oh, we're gonna be there." Anyway, there's that ranting again. But as you can see, came to Iowa in the late 20s from a couple counties in Tennessee, Sullivan and Weakley. Previous generations of the Archers had lived in the farmed in the colonies of North Carolina and Virginia since 1729 when they came over from England. I do believe there's some Welsh in my blood. I can't remember who said that. It was you or Joey. So, anytime Wales does well in anything, I follow a lot of Wales and Welsh stuff on Facebook. The news, the soccer team, when they had their run a year or two back, I was super excited about that just because it's something that you don't see very often. Gareth Bale, one of their main players. I think he's in some sort of league over there. But anyway, supported the family as a tool and die machinist for John Deere Autumnal Works and gained many awards. Dad attended school, graduating in 57, loved swimming, track, wrestling, or he was lettered in swimming, track, wrestling, and golf. Yeah. Worked as a typewriter repair. A typewriter repairman and a caddy master in a country club. Was in the Navy as a hospital corpsman. I think that's how it's pronounced. Was stationed at Bethesda Naval Hospital. Discharged in 61, came to St. Cloud, Minnesota. 66, worked as a lineman for Northwest Bell, a telephone company back in the day, for those that are under the age of 30. Worked there in St. Paul, customer sales and service in Duluth, manager in Detroit Lakes and Hibbing. 75, he returned to St. Cloud. And then later to UMD Minnesota Duluth to study cell and genetic biology. That's the thing with my dad, even though he had died from pretty much alcoholism and constant cigs, fucking up his lungs. That's where I think I get my just wanting to learn about as much as I can in different fields. I mean, if it's something that really I find interesting, you know what? I'll get me a book, get me a course, get me something where I can read about it. Because I fucking want to know. And he's sort of the same way. And then my mom, interesting too. Look, he graduated in 58. My mom was born in 58. Or 57. She was born in 58. Again, this was 1988. There I am, August 22nd, 1980. He's great woodworker. Made the toys, a lot of toys, a lot of stuff, and stuff I like, but my patience level for a lot of that stuff is shockingly, I know. Lisa, Charlie, and Amy, those are siblings of mine. 86, he went with Charlie on the USS Enterprise, not the Star Trek ship because that's fictitious. From Pearl Harbor to San Francisco. It's can't remember what they exactly, because it's like a family week for the ship. Because I went in 88, was able to go up to the can't think of it, Kingdom. Went to the Kingdom. My aunt and uncle lived out there. Best cream corn I've ever tasted. And I was able to go from Seattle down to San Francisco on the USS Enterprise. And then we came back up on a train. We went out there from Hibbing, which is about an hour and change from Ely, through North Dakota, through the Rockies on a train, and then we came back up through there on a train too, which it's the only way I'd like to travel long distances. It's so much fun. And you can look out the window and not have to worry about pretty much anything. So there's that. He helped resod Whiteside Park, which is in the middle of town. And here's another. There's some Finnish in the family. I'll go through a little of it. These are people I never met. Pete and Zana, uncle. I want to say uncle and aunt, but I think it's like a second uncle or second. It's like twice, not twice removed, but twice over, whatever it is. And they, I think, I think Peter died first, and Zena, I don't know if she's still alive. Pete died because they're out in Oregon a couple years back. I think that he passed. It's my great grandma there, Helia, married Joe Gord. And Joe died in like 92. And then great grandma, I think, died in 95, maybe. She was Alzheimer's or dementia. I think it was Alzheimer's, and she was just. She kept on. Anytime we visited, she thought I was my dad, like every time. So yeah, when you get that out of there, that's where I don't want to be. If I'm ever that way, that's all the other time for David. So that's, and then Uncle Bill and Aunt Jenny. So they're all in that Lofberg, all from Harma, Finland. Used to be a Lupari. I'm Koskimäki from Jalasjärvi, Finland. And that's where I think my brother's name's from, Isaac there, and then Joseph's from my great-grandpa's name. Toivo, that's the one I remember the most, besides those two, because these are the ones. Marion, she's still alive. Her husband Werner passed away. David and Nancy, they still live in Duluth. And then Toivo passed away, I think the mid to late 90s. Loved skiing. And he worked for the city of Ely. But there again, like that. Died in 50 or 32 and 64. I wasn't even a glint in anybody's eyes then. Let's see. Was in the army. And then town they had cows. Again, this isn't interesting by any means. This isn't like somebody had some special talent or knew somebody. The one thing my dad did do, and I've been told this by my brother because he's a fucking huge Kiss fan. He drove Kiss on tour, just in Duluth, from, I don't know if it's from the airport to the deck, in a hearse. So he drove the hearse that Kiss was in. I don't know if my brother got to meet them or not, but I mean, I think that was like one of his super huge moments where, again, being a huge Gene Simmons and Kiss fan, he marked out pretty hard for that stuff. But again, I'll just keep sort of scrolling through this stuff, which again, all this stuff was written by my mom and my dad. Dad wrote the one for and there's Aunt Jenny, Sima, which I never met, Toivo in the back, Edith, and Helia. So my great grandma, uncle, aunt. I'm guessing 2 other aunts. I don't know. I'm guessing. That makes sense. And then Raising Cane's chicken fingers. Right there's my great grandpa on my grandpa's side. So Pennsylvania. Lance Crawl. I don't know if you've ever watched. I think Joe Schmo It was or Average Show. One of those two uh, titles. It was a reality show over on Spike TV or TNN, whatever it was at the time. And my cousin Lance, he's been on VH1. There was like a radio show too, that it was like the fictitious radio show where he was like an inept dude with a couple other people. I can't remember the title of the show, but he was in all that stuff. He's out in California. He's still putzing around. Some other folks that's our what we called the farm, more like a cabin, but it was a farm because he actually had stuff out there growing. Do a lot of these people I haven't ever met. Even if I have, it's been eons. Johnny, Uncle, I remember he went to Korea. He fought in the Korean War. I still remember him, my dad and I think, going up and visiting him in the nursing home right after he had, I think, his left leg from the hip down amputated because of, I don't know, diabetes or something. And I think not too long after that he had passed away. And then my grandpa Leonard, Lorraine's my grandma, she's still alive. Grandpa died in 90, I think. So remember that phone call. Pam, my aunt, my mom. He was also in Korea. Look at that. Christmas was pretty slim pickings. Present might have been an orange or an apple and a candy bar. But that's the thing, the cabin. That's the family time. Shagwa Lake. We went to McKinley Point on Lake Vermilion. I remember some of those when great grandma and great grandpa could still go. See, but there it is, Scott. I really Lunka. There might be one more. I think. There. My aunt and uncle came from like Yugoslavia. So young Lawrence was Austrian infantry in January 18. Was captured by the Italians in November that year. Spent 16 months as a POW, and that was during WW1. And I remember them because she had made, I think, patizza, which if you've never had patizza, you are just doing yourself an immense disservice. It sort of looks like it's spelled potica, Potica. It's like a very thinly, not pressed, but it's a thin dough, and then you've got usually some sort of, it's either walnut or apple most of the time. There's some cream cheese too ones, but it's rolled up real thin. So it's so good. So good. If you've never had it, have it. And there it is. Probably the best baker on the wrong side of the tracks, because there used to be a railroad that ran through Ely, and they lived like literally 1 block away from the railroad. So that would be the connotation. They're the wrong side of the tracks. Strudels, they're so fucking good. So good. Seriously. Miss her. She was super fun to be around too. We weren't around a ton because I think it was in her latter years where the memories of her come into play, but I remember her just being real nice and always super generous with whatever baked goods she had. And of course, as a kid, eating baked goods and becoming fatty 2x4, I can't fit through the Metrodome roof. So good, so fucking good. So Scott, there it is. That's basically what I can have for or what I can contribute to this. I hope that quantifies your meets your expectations, quantifies the need for what the contest requires, because again, I like it. Again, nothing grandiose, and again, my mom, I asked her too, she said, go get that book, find that book, and then you'll be able to, because she had said we wrote a lot in there. Okay. But then she said, I don't remember many stories from anyone, because nobody talked about it back then. It wasn't like today where people are fucking thumping their chest, beating their chest, puffing their chest out, and fucking looking for praise at every task or whatever they've done. So there it is. So Scott, thank you for the contest. Remember, get those Mickey Mantles and sell them. Band together. Love everyone. Doesn't seem like I do, but I do. Stay safe. Hopefully WrestleMania doesn't get canceled, but everything's gonna get canceled until fucking beginning of school next year, I bet. Take her easy, YouTube. She's easy. Eat some Raising Cane's. First time having that. Oh my god. And take her twice.